Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Just going to try and knock out a quick video on the Coupe, keep the ball rolling on progress on this thing. I've got the diff back for a Mitch, that's ready to go. I'll go over some things on that and I'll get that in the car. And I've also got the brackets for my driving lights have come in, so I can check the alignment of all the holes in the front panel, put the grill in, measure up for the heat exchanger that I want to order, and a bunch of other bits. But yeah, let's get into that. So down here I've got the housing all freshened up, some bits done to it. Center ready to go in, slightly modified brake rotors, and then a couple of gaskets and things. So I'm going to put this together, clean this up and put this together. That is the fuel cell that was in the car. I've taken that out. So ice water tank, and there's about an 80 litre fuel cell. Those are the pumps and things sitting on top there. That'll probably end up on my Facebook or Marketplace in about a week's time, I think. So I mentioned in an earlier video that the floaters were going to be changed out for race product ones, the same as what's on the F100 behind me here. Mitch spoke to the guys at Rodtech. He knows a couple of them quite well. They managed to piece together a new hub and new drive plate. So again, the drive plate, this outer section here, that's got the spline on it. That bolts to the hub that sits on the spindle. When I press the studs into my old hub, I actually, this is a nice tight seal here, nice line here. The way I supported the hub in the press, when I punched the studs into it and pressed it, it actually warped this. So there were, between the studs and this bit here, there was a little bit of an air gap in there, which was just going to leak oil. Even with a seal in there, it's just going to piss oil out. So these are new. It's a new hub, new drive plate, custom studs. It's got the massive shank on it, and the alloy washers. They're another inch or so longer than the 3-inch ones that I put on there, something like that. There's a reason there's a big shank on there, and that's the wheels I use. Remember, the old studs were threaded all the way to the face. So the last modification that had to be done to run these was drill out the holes in the discs to fit over these massive studs. But I'll chuck this on. I've done the other side, and then we'll have a look at putting a wheel on there. Drilling these out was really simple. I just did it with the drill press, nice and easy. I found the drill bit, which was very, very nice, snug fit over these, and these floaters are designed for the wheelwood discs. They're hub centric, so all the weight is on the center hub instead of relying on the studs. So there's minimal movement there, but that's fine. So the reason behind the excessively long studs, well, one, there's a safety reason. So if you're going to track and the nuts come loose, they've got a fair bit of a way to come off before the wheel comes off. Your wheel's still going to be, yeah, it's a safety thing. But anyone that runs these weld wheels, the construction on them, it's a bit unusual. It's like a two-piece wheel, so you can sort of see there's a split between the outer and the inner. And inside here, there's actually an aluminium, like a crush spacer. So when you bolt the wheel studs up, the wheel nuts up tight, these squeeze up. They go from about a 38mm thick to 35mm thick by the time all the crushing is done. But that just stops the crush. So they're a bit odd, but yeah, so that's almost a 40mm thick center there. So the 7mm of the brake rotor plus the 40-odd of the wheel, it takes up most of that, which you'll see in a sec. But having the long studs, the car reasonably low, I do want it lower. I will set it up lower after. But having the long studs and a 325 tyre and this offset, they're a bit of a nuisance to fit, which you'll see in a sec. So it's not always practical at all, but when I'm putting these wheels on at the track or whatever, and I've got the jack, I'll jack up one side of the diff, I'll put it on stands, and I'll jack up one side of the diff, and that brings this side down just a touch. I do have the room there, but it's still just the size of the tyre and the angle of everything. The length of the studs is the main issue, but by the time I put these spacers on, so it's the next day back out in the shed. I've grabbed one of the double bead lock wheels down off the shelf, thrown that on so we can have a look at how it fits on these studs with what spacers I require. These are the same spacers I used on the Pro Star welds. Again, those are like when they're crushed, they're a 35mm thick sensor. These ones, maybe 13mm, something like that. These are a 12.8mm spacer. So if I chuck one of those on there, you can see there's quite a bit of length left on that shank. Put two on there, it comes up to the thread, but by the time I tighten everything up, needs a little bit longer. So I think these are 25.7mm when there's two of them. So I'm going to get a couple of 30mm spacers made up. So that's the diff in, that's all done. I've got to tighten a few bolts. I've got to put the brake calipers on. I'll leave that till after when I do some other stuff under the car. I do have, and I'll go over this again later, but I do have a new, the hard line to diff brake line. Relatively inexpensive for what they are. The last one, the one that's been in the car for a couple of years, the plastic coating got a bit burnt, and I had a bit of a fire under there doing a burnout. So, but even if you're just changing a few things, it's not expensive to replace one of these. It's a bit of good insurance. The factory rubber ones, they swell after 40 years old or whatever. But yeah, so I'll get that other wheel back on, get the car down, and work on the lights, the front end, putting that together. So I've put the headlights on there so I could sit the grill in there, get everything in the right place, make sure that's all where it's supposed to be, and the press marks on the radiator support panel, which match up the backing plates and the brackets for the driving lights. Just made sure they're all in the right spot. Because of the difference in the panels, all the grills should be the same, but I just want to make sure that I've welded the actual panels in the right place. So I've set these in there as best I can. They do line up. The brackets have got a little bit of a funny shape to them. The factory ones are like that. So now I can take the grill off, drill all those holes, bolt these on, and then put the grill back on and see how it looks. So I'll get on with that. Well, the Coupe's back on the ground. I've got the diff in there. I've still got to do the brake lines, the brake calipers, do all that stuff up, go over the suspension, make sure everything's tight. But I've got a lot to do under the back of the car with the fuel system and everything. So I'll go through everything when I get to that. The grill's in temporarily. The driving lights, that's all set up. So now I can work out what room I've got behind the grill so I can get on with the heat exchanger. So I'll get on with that. Don't need to talk about that this video. The next video should be on the big guy behind me there. I've been accumulating a couple of parts, had some parts rebuilt. I want to push. I've got a little bit of time off work coming up, so I want to push to get that thing as close to rego as I can so I can actually use it. But yeah, I've got a lot coming for this one. So well, a lot of work for me. It's not going to look too different, but I've got a lot of work for me. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks to the new subscribers and people who've come to check out what's going on with these things. I do appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. I hope everyone's going well, and I will talk to you again real soon. Cheers.